One of my most recent ghost stories is from 4 years ago in September of 2020. My dad was still alive. There is an old cemetery up in St. Helen called Beaver Lake Cemetery, which was once the cemetery to an old lumber town called Beaver Lake, which is a ghost town. Ghost house and his business dried up. So one summer day in 2020, I decided to camp at the cemetery to make sure nobody fucks with it during Labor Day. So it's about 3:30 in the morning, and I'm reading my book, my lantern's on, I'm in my tent all cozy up, listening to music, and all of a sudden, I hear stuff outside. Like, wrestling in the leaves. I'm like, oh, that shit, that's just an animal, you know what I mean? But then they sounded like footsteps in the leaves. Me thinking it was a DNR going, I'll be out in a goddamn minute. And that's what I said to them because I don't want to be bothered by anybody. That's why I'm out in the middle of the damn woods to begin with, is to get the hell away from people. So also there was a bright full moon that night, so I can see the silhouette of the moon. Well, I can see the moon's light from my tent. Sorry. So as I'm getting on my Chuck Taylors, I hear footsteps coming closer to the tent, and I'm getting more agitated. I'm like, I'll be out in a minute. What'd I say? And then across the tent door, there's a silhouette of a man with a top hat, just like mine. So this man with the top hat crosses my tent door, and I'm like, oh shit, that's not the DNR. But now I kind of wish it were. So I unzip my tent, and it's, you know, full moon's out, and it's somewhat bright. And I see this man that was dressed up in a top hat, a vest, a shirt, pants, and boots. He appeared to be a lumberman from the 18 or early 1900s. So I'm standing there, I'm shocked because, I didn't expect this. And he's like, get out. I'm like, no, I'm only here to make sure your cemetery's right. He's like, get out. And after that, third one's like, get out. And I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you. This is your land. I'm getting the hell out as soon as tomorrow comes. I'll come back and get my shit. Bye-bye. So I went back to my tent, kept reading my book, which was about politics, not ghosts. So the next morning, I wake up, and I take off with my buddy Joe. He came up with his golf cart and picked me up. So as we were eating at the Hen House, which is a restaurant downtown, it got really dark, and it got really windy, and it began to storm. It stormed so bad that there was a tree trunk, or a tree branch, that fell on my tent at the exact same spot I would be laying down if I would have not moved. That lumberman saved my life. He saved my life because he probably knew that my dad was dying and he needed my help. And I got closure from taking care of my dad before he died. So I thank that lumberman for saving my life so I can take care of my dad's.